In the modern history, we trace back international relations and to the Peace of Westphalia in 1648. Now, this was the peace treaty which took place, in 1648, and the aim was to end European wars of religion. So the Europeans, they used to, they used to fight against each other, and these treaties ended about 30 years war in the Holy Roman Empire, and of course the 80 years war between Spain and Dutch Republic. So these, this particular piece of Westphalia is considered as the, it comes in the modern, you can say, we take it as a modern history of international relations. So after that, international relations as a subject, was introduced, and we used to study that. Now, what is the value of international relations? Why we consider that international relations is important, and why it is important in the, in modern times? So basically, IR, international relations, promotes successful trade policies, between and among nations. So trade and investment takes place. You have seen there are many trade blocs in the world right now. For example, ASEAN, European Union is there, SAARC is there. Then you got, Arab League is there, African Union is there. So, and many other, blocs, trade blocs are there, like G20, BRICS, and other, they also interact with each other. So these blocs, actually trade blocs, comes in the scope of international relations, and they, the countries, these blocs interact with other countries, other states, other blocs. So this activity comes in the purview of IR, which makes IR an important. Secondly, tourism, for example. IR also promote tourism, and when you and many countries, they earn billions of dollars from tourism. For example, China was leading country in 2014. They earned about $164 billion in tourism. So when from people from other countries, they visit China, so Chinese earn a lot of money. The Americans also earn about $110 billion. So same is the case with many other countries. So all this happens when countries interact with each other. Okay, and this interaction comes in the preview of international relations, of course. Then immigration is another important thing, which is part of international relations. Many people from different countries, they get nationality of other countries. For example, in Canada, you see that many people from other origins are residing in Canada, and they take immigration easily there. They get passport there, and they live there without any problem. So this is also very important thing. Then there is a diaspora, who are working in Middle East from Pakistan, for example. They are working in Middle East. They are working in European countries, and they send remittances to Pakistan. So 16 or $20 billion of remittances comes from the diaspora, which is there in outside world. India, for example, let me give you an example of India. India earns more than $80 billion from their diaspora, which is there working in European countries and other states. So this is the importance of international relations, that you can send your people to other states from where they can provide their services and send back remittances to their own home country. As you can see, the top 10 countries with the largest number of international migrants. So all this happens because of the international relations. United States of America leads the chart, and then you got many other states who invite immigrants from other states. So international relations, if you want to analyze international relations, this is very important thing. There are few level of analysis under which you are going to analyze the international relations. For example, the first level of analysis is state level of analysis, for example. So state level of analysis looks at the international system, actually, and more specifically, how the international system affects the behavior of nation states, with the key variable include the power of each state rather than being independent of them. So which means that how the power structure is there in the international system. For example, if United States of America is their international system, so if Pakistan want to interact with international with America, so Pakistan would analyze the US behavior, US military capabilities, US economy, and US political clout in the world. So we cannot go aggressively against the United States of America. For example, United States of America carried out OBL operation in Abbottabad, and Pakistan did not come up with any aggressive approach against the Americans. But India carried out a surgical strike in Pakistan in Abbottabad, and we sent over 6 aircraft, and we targeted, dropped bombs on 6 different locations in India, and we came back. We shot down their 2 aircraft as well, and killed their pilot and also captured 1. But you cannot do this against the Americans. Why? Because you need to understand, you need to analyze this system level of analysis, that how the international system is working, and who are the states who are there in that particular system. So our analysis against India would be different, and our approach towards America would be different. Why? Because we analyze their system level of analysis. Then comes the state level of analysis, examines how a state's characteristics determine its foreign policy behavior. So this comes on your own self, for example, and it also comes on the other countries as well. For example, Pakistan's geography, Pakistan's economy, Pakistan's military would let you know that how your foreign policy is going to behave. For example, if you are a landlocked state, your foreign policy would be subservient to others, and you will be relying on other states. But if you are a maritime nation, you will be confident. If you are located in a peculiar position like Pakistan, for example, where Pakistan is located in a very peculiar position in South Asia, where China is also dependent on Pakistan, India is also dependent on Pakistan, Iran is also dependent on Pakistan if they want to interact with India. If India want to interact with Afghanistan or Iran, they are dependent on Pakistan. Okay, so these are the things which makes a country, which influence a country a lot, for example. So state level of analysis would help you, in which the state's characteristics determine its foreign policy behavior. If its foreign policy, if its geography is good, economy is good, military is good, its foreign policy would be very good. For example, United States of America, they are the #1 economy, #1 military, and they have got political clout, veto power. Look at their foreign policy. So they are they pursue their foreign policy aggressively. Same is the case with China. China is also, their geography is good, population is good, economy is good. They have got political clout, veto power, and their, foreign policy is also strong. They, challenge the US hegemony in the world right now. Look at Asia Pacific. Look at their policies in Middle East. Look at their policies in Afghanistan. Look at their policies in Syria, Iran, for example. So China is challenging the US foreign policy everywhere. Why? Because the Chinese own characteristics, for example, their own characteristics like their geography, economy, military, their population is quite good. So that's why they can challenge the US behavior. So this is what we call state level of analysis. So this type of analysis often views states as having cultural characteristics. For example, China is very old, country, for example. They have got thousands of years of old history, culture, civilization. America is also about 250 or 290, I think. इतने साल उनको भी हो चुके हैं आजाद हुए. इसी तरह से you need to analyze the other states as well. Their religious and social traditions, for example. And for example, in Pakistan, you cannot pursue any foreign policy goals against Islam. So religion and our social traditions are deeply entrenched in our foreign policy behavior. So we cannot go against our traditions or our religious values. So this is something which you need to understand. And of course, the historical legacy, as I told you before, economy and geographic factors. ये सारी चीजें, they are very important when you analyze the state's foreign policy behavior under state level of analysis.